at this point, like the Syrian army has almost overtaken all of East Aleppo. They've said that the announcement is, fairly imminent. What is really left to even negotiate in Geneva, if they're about to take control of
exactly what we talked about. I mean, first of all, I've seen all kinds of conflicting press reports about how much of Aleppo has been taken back. And clearly, just collecting all the various sources of information, we obviously know that the regime has a majority of the city. There's no question about that. I couldn't give you an exact percentage here. But in terms of what's left to negotiate is exactly what we were working on through the weekend, which was to get the bombs to stop so that people that wanted to leave, including opposition, could do so safely, as well as the parameters through which they could get out safely. I mean, many people were afraid to go because to go would be to leave themselves vulnerable, in fact, perhaps more vulnerable to airstrikes and attacks by the regime. So that was all part of this discussion as well.
Since you're not going to say how much percentage you think of Aleppo has been retaken.
I just don't know.
The Russians are talking about 98% just of East Aleppo, which is only a part of Aleppo. So we're talking like 99.5% or something of the city.
I've seen the reports, Brad, but I'm not in a position to confirm it. As I said, we're certainly, I think our assessment is that the majority, the regime has taken the majority of Aleppo. I mean, that's obvious, but I don't have the dexterity to give you a percentage figure or neighborhood by neighborhood.
Right. There was also a figure I think that had been mentioned at this podium, maybe a couple times, definitely the UN as well, about 350,000 people that were in East Aleppo trapped at one time. That number, I just wanted to know, because if there's been any accounting of what happened to all those people. There were some people that we know went on the road. I heard about 10,000 about a week or two ago, but there's a huge amount of number that just seems to have vanished into the ether here. Do we know what's going on?
I don't have an exact figure for you in terms of who's left or who has departed. It's very difficult to know with certainty.
Reports that allege that Palmyra was retaken by ISIS.
I've seen press reports about it. Saeed, I'm not in a position to.
But you don't have any information because the Russians are claiming, the spokesman for the Ministry of Defense, Igor Konashenkov, said that the reason they were able to do it because the alliance apparently stopped their bombardment of Raqqa. So thousands of fighters were able to make their way to Palmyra, Tedmor.
The alliance, you mean the coalition?
Right, the coalition.
Look, there's a lot there. First, I can't confirm the press reports about the degree to which the so-called Islamic State is or is not in possession of Palmyra. I've seen reporting that says that the attacks are ongoing. I've seen reporting that it's been complete. I don't know. Secondly, the isolation operations in and around Raqqa continue. I would refer you to my Defense Department colleagues to speak to that with greater clarity. But nobody has lost focus on continuing to pursue this this goal of liberating Raqqa, and everything I've seen this morning is that the isolation operations continue. So claims that we've somehow stopped supporting SDF forces in terms of trying to further isolate Raqqa is just not true.
Well, just wanted to ask you why you're being so hesitant to acknowledge you keep saying you don't know if there's an attack at all on Palmyra. Does the United States government have no visibility on this part of Syria?
Our ability, Brad, I think our ability to know hour by hour operations there in Syria in particular is very, very limited. So at 2:45, because I checked on this. Honestly, I checked on this before I came out here. I figured you guys were going to pound me up on it. I just can't say with any certainty. We've seen reporting that Palmyra is or has been under attack by Daesh. I just am not in a position to confirm the veracity of those reports. If we get to a place where we have a better sense of it, then we'll certainly have. There's no. I mean, the only thing precluding me from acknowledging it is that we just don't have enough information to confirm it. It's not reticence to do so. Is that?
It's not that it just happened today. I mean, it's been going on for
I
a
understand.
couple days now.
I understand. If I had better information, believe me, I'd give it to you. But I'm not going to stand up here and make it up.
It's like the only town in that, hundreds of miles area of Syria. If there's an attack going on by Daesh, you would hope that.
Is it possible that American intelligence just missed this?
Look, guys, if I have better information, I'll let you know. I mean, we're aware of reporting that Palmyra could be under some kind of an attack by Daesh. We'll have to, as we get more information, I'll let you know.
If you need more intelligence, I can send you the latest.
We'll have you come on up and give
all
us a briefing. Look, as we get better information, I'll give it to you. That's not, my reticence is simply that I want to be accurate, not that I'm trying to hide something here.
And then since you brought up the numbers about the tens of thousands who have been eliminated from the battlefield, I don't know when the last estimate was of ISIS fighters, but at one time, for a while, it was 25,000. But now we've got more dead than were alive back then, that never existed.
Because
How did that
they've been
happen?
able to, we've talked about this openly, because we know that they have been able to continue to recruit. They've been able to replenish their manpower.
But
But I'm not confirming the number that was put out by an anonymous.
it just seemed